Ethan Hayes always thought the end of the world would be loud sirens, explosions, chaos. But when it came, it started with a profound silence, like the world holding its breath. Then came the screams. It all began one winter night in 2009. A strange virus tore through North America, so fast that governments collapsed before anyone understood what was happening. Within 3 days, the dead weren't staying dead. They walked, they hunted. By spring, the world was an open graveyard. Ethan, once just a mechanic from Phoenix, found himself a hardened survivor, armed with a modified shotgun and a dwindling sense of hope. For months, he wandered the ruins of the American Southwest, searching for food, shelter, and any sign that humanity hadn't been completely erased. The highway stretched before him like a road of bones, littered with abandoned cars. The wind whistled through shattered windows, carrying the stench of decay. He scanned every shadow, knowing the zombies in this new world weren't slow. They mutated. Some crawled like twisted animals. Some ran, and a few could even think, stalking their prey with terrifying patience. As the sun set, Ethan spotted an overturned bus. A groan came from inside. A pale hand slithered out, fingers twitching. A face appeared, eyes glowing with hunger. Ethan raised his shotgun. Boom! The body collapsed, but the echo brought more. The soft shuffle of multiple footsteps. A low, wet growl. Shit. He sprinted toward a ruined diner, vaulting through a broken window. 5 of them poured onto the highway, sniffing the air. The fast ones Raegers. As he steadied his breath, the floor creaked behind him. He spun around and almost shot the girl standing there. She was about 17, holding a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. "Don't shoot," she hissed. "No time," she whispered. "They heard you." The Raegers screeched and slammed against the diner walls. "You got ammo?" she asked. "3 shots," Ethan replied. She just held up her bat. The windows shattered. "Move!" Ethan fired, and 1 Raeger dropped. The girl swung her bat with a crack, crushing the skull of another. A 3rd zombie tackled Ethan, its jaws snapping inches from his face. He struggled, the smell of rot turning his stomach. The girl yelled and brought her bat down with a sickening smash. He shoved the corpse aside, gasping for air. 2 left. 1 lunged at her, but she spun and slammed its head against the counter. The last one charged Ethan. He fired his final shot point blank. Silence. "You okay?" he asked, wiping blood from his face. "Been worse," she muttered. "Name's Lia." "Ethan." They knew they had to move. Night was when the big ones came out. Lia told him about a radio transmission she'd heard at a failed survivor camp, a message about a safe zone in Colorado. Military protection, food, even a cure research lab. It sounded too good to be true, but Ethan had been alone for too long. He agreed to go with her. That night, in an abandoned motel, he woke to the sound of soft sobbing. It was Lia mourning the brother she couldn't save. Ethan sat beside her. He'd lost his family, too. In that shared silence, their loneliness felt a little less empty. By sunrise, they were on a forest path that was too quiet. That's when they saw it. A massive, grotesque creature, part human, part beast, with a spine like jagged metal rods and razor-sharp claws. "A titan?" Lia whispered in horror. It snapped its head toward them. "Run!" Ethan shouted. The chase was a blur of snapping branches and shaking earth. The titan was terrifyingly fast. Lia tripped. Ethan fired his pistol, barely slowing it down. He saw an old ranger tower. "This way." They scrambled up the ladder just as the titan slammed into the structure, making it sway. Trapped at the top, Lia whispered, "Is this world even worth saving?" Ethan looked at the sunrise. "Maybe not," he said softly, "but you are." After 2 days, the titan wandered off. They continued their journey, low on food and ammo, but no longer alone. They laughed. They shared stories. On the 7th day, inside an old military tunnel, they heard it. A radio. "If anyone can hear this, the Fort Collins safe zone is secure. Repeat, Fort Collins safe zone is secure." Hope surged through them. It was real. But as they exited the tunnel, a familiar roar echoed behind them. The Titan had followed. It smashed through the tunnel wall. They sprinted up the hillside toward a tall fence, guard towers, and bright lights. "Help!" Lia screamed. "Open the gate!" Soldiers scrambled as the Titan lunged. Gunfire erupted. The monster kept coming. Ethan shoved Lia forward. "Go!" As she reached the gate, the Titan's claw struck Ethan, throwing him to the ground. Lia shrieked his name. A hail of bullets finally brought the beast down. Soldiers rushed out, carrying Ethan inside as the steel gates slammed shut. For the first time in months, he heard laughter and music. Safe zone lights glowed warm and bright. Lia held his hand. "You made it," she said. "We made it," he whispered. Outside, the world still belonged to the dead, but in here, hope was alive.